and we have like the financial reports, and now each entry in the report has a link like this that you can click through, and you get the RDF viewer that I built. And there are other RDF viewers out there. Like if this link works, you can see this is what's inside the Allegro graph server. Here in our viewer, I tried to make it more friendly. Something you probably don't see very well now is that some of these entries they have like a bit of a green background, and they are in bold. So that's like something to follow in the viewer, because it shows you the graph that you came from, the graph of the report. And it highlights like the interesting properties. So here we are looking at the report entry of investment income, and we should be able to click through. You can like unroll the items like this. Well, once again, it's like the real raw data. Like it's what.
Yeah, I understand.
It's what we deal with in the code, so it's never going to be like super. Well, it's good. Like,
well, I guess it would be a case of us defining what properties we want
to see, and how we want to render it. So here's an interesting thing. This report entry, once again, we are looking at the investment income in the profit and loss report. And we immediately see that it has a cross-check actually. So that's something we didn't have like direct access to before. We would have to go to the cross-checks, page and just look for it. It would have a different syntax there and so on. So it's right here. The cross-checks are like not entirely RDF. They still have the Prolog term structure. At least the crux of it. So this is like, this would define the cross-check in Prolog, and this would define the result of the evaluation. And well, the point is that it's all there. It's not always immediately, obvious what you're looking at. Obviously.
No, I understand. I mean, obviously, there's the different aspects of the graph that it's able to traverse, and allows you then to, I guess, follow all the way from the top level report all the way through to the different elements, as well as to the different sets of rules that, in terms of the cross checks that we might have set up.
Right, not just cross-checks, but all the steps that the system takes, all the different intermediate transformations, all the way from the Excel sheet.
Yeah, all the way from the granular
with the bank statement,
the granular bank transactions.
Yeah.
Which, can you just flip over to the granular? Just flip over to the bank statement, just so that I can make sure that whoever's watching can have a quick idea of what we're sort of. Where it's initiating.
Well, that's a bit of a problem, because I don't have the.
Oh, okay. Well, leave it. I mean, what about the raw? Can you access? I think you can access the raw RDF file. I know it's going to be very hard to decipher for anyone, but that's essentially the start point, right? It's that raw RDF file.
Yeah, I can show you that. So. Never mind. Actually, I do have the Risera file saved as the Excel file. So I can show you that right now, and is the actual source that we used for the request.
Yep.
So you have like the bank statement.
Yep. The banks, just scroll to the top. So we've got the
Helvetic
details for
Bank.
which bank account, and then we've got the debits and credits, and then we've got our own semantics, which you can see in column A, which is transfers, bank charges, scroll down to where we can see investments. Yeah, I don't know if there are any investments or disposal of assets on this one.
Is the invest in here? Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
yep.
lot.
Okay, just summarize that.
It's mostly
Oh yeah,
investments, I
mostly
think.
invest in. Yeah, so
But
no, those are
okay.
transfers. Yeah,
Oh,
because
I
we
mean,
can,
in this bank account,
where there's
I see.
units of some kind of investment asset
Here
class.
you have a dispose
There you
of.
go. Dispose of. Yeah, dispose of and invest in is pretty much our semantics for what drives the investment transactions through the investment engine, essentially.
Right.
Yep. So you've got your assets, and then you've also got your unit. You've got your unit values at the endpoints of any given time frame. So it might be worth just clicking to the endpoints of those time frames. Oh, and just show to the right where you got the unit numbers. Oh no, you do. It's in column F, right? Column
Oh, you
F, and
mean the
then
unit values?
well,
No?
yeah, those are the values at the
Sorry.
end of any given time frame. Yep, that's fine.
And you were talking about.
Yep, those are the units. Yeah,
Oh, it's the
units. Then
number
you
of
got unit
units.
type, which is all documented on the unit types input file
Yeah.
on the far left
Unit
there.
types
Yep,
here.
yep. So those are all our
Like
unit types. Yep. Okay, now I think that's enough, Jindrik. Let's go back into the. Can you show the intermediary RDF data file?
intermediate RDF is
I know it's hard.
right
It's nothing really
right
of
here.
interest,
No,
right?
this is fine. We
But I mean,
actually
it's an
saved
intermediary
the
step.
yeah we actually saved the input file, the Excel file, right there. So we have like the full reproducibility now, and then the system converts it to the RDF, and it also converts that to the JSON LD RDF.
Oh yeah, cool. Well, that's worth having a look at the
So,
both and just comparing the two.
so this is the JSON LD. We see the request object, and it contains like a description of all the different sheets that are in the Excel file.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the list of all the different sheets, and it's like a intermediate form that some of the data is like more semantic parsed already. Some of it is more like still just text, but it describes like every cell in the Excel file. It tells you like where the value came from, so you can go back to the exact location.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a long
Yeah,
list of all the items.
it's just a specific way that the machine has put it into some kind of format, which is traversable by, I suppose, the next stage of the process, right?
Right. Yeah. So
And
that's
you're obviously loading this into an RDF database, so that JSON
right.
file, JSON LD file gets loaded into the RDF database, right?
Right. So let's click through again. So the default link for the RDF viewer takes you to the. So this is like the overview. This is the top level object for the whole job, and we should be able to click through to the input Excel. Result sheets, but
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for like the whole thing that you saw in
Oh, the
the
RDF
JSON
file,
LD
yeah.
here,
Yep.
it's there somewhere, you know, and it should be available from this top level the object, but wow. The result sheets, I don't care about that now. Is result off? Right. Is result
Oh,
off?
yeah, is result
Oh,
of.
that's the thing. Off. And
Yep.
then now you're looking at
Yes.
the object.
Yep.
We don't assign like any human, you know, meaningful name
Yep.
to it,
Don't need to.
many other things, you know. It's just something that the machine processes. But here's the request data for it, and here you see, yep, these are identifiers for the different sheets here. You know, each one.
Yep.
Like you can click through and you should be able to see that this is the unit types. This would be a bank statement sheet.
Yep.
And you can keep going, you know, to look at the individual cells and so on. And we can link to that we actually do link to that. Like let's see the result. But it's better to go from the report. So let's look at the balance sheet here. We have a bank account.
But those are all zero value at that date. So it's probably worth going back to that balance sheet and just scrolling down to a bank account that's got a value.
Okay, so this one maybe?
Yep.
Right. So this is a general ledger account, right? So it's the value is the value is a result of some addition of, you know, some values. So this is the value as it is, 176.
Yep.
But it is the addition. Yeah, and this is the addition of this report entry with like, well, that's it. You know, just
well,
this
that's as far as we need to go anyway. But essentially, what we're looking at is.
Well, you can drill down. You know.
No, no. I appreciate that because look, you know, that's pretty much what you just showed was the drill down all the way to what is essentially those tabular pieces of the Excel sheet, which have been re-rendered into JSON LD and then processed as RDF. And essentially what we're looking at is a graph that allows you to traverse all the way through the whole nodal network of, you know, from the reports all the way through to the granular transaction level. I think,
Yeah,
I mean, to make this
I want to show you the transactions, but
yeah.
Should be somewhere here.
Now, what about making this more user-friendly, Jindrik? Any ideas?
Yeah, we could. Definitely. Like,
I think all I need to do is sort of explain to you what I would like. I think what I'd need to do is just show you how and what I would like to explore, and then you can re-render it in a human-readable format, right? Because essentially, you've got the nodal network, you've got the network, you've got the whole graph. Now it's really just a case of having it in a more human readable format, and then you know, humans could explore it, because we can, you know, you as an expert, explore it to some degree, but of course to make it more usable for the general person, we'd have to cut out some of what was available as an exploration.
Well, this is kind of a big topic. If you will see the last video I made in the technical overview, it's like 10 minutes where I describe like my last attempt. It was like 2 years ago actually. We tried that to make like a general purpose RDF viewer that was also more suited to defining these domain specific views for things, because what we have in Robust is we have these renderings of reports. It's just HTML that that we compile, and then we link to the details in the RDF. But when you start thinking about this, you come to this idea like, okay, I should probably actually start with the RDF and define, these domain-specific views for things. And the RDF tab, so this viewer, I called it RDF tab. It's like it just puts together quickly to show that the data is there, proof of concept. And I can certainly like start extending it with domain-specific views for different kind of values. Yeah, I just want to say that it's quite a big area to explore. You want to be mindful that we already have like all
I know
these
we've got a
all
whole lot
these
of the
different
sub-reports, so we don't need to go and reinvent those at all. That's
yeah.
true.
But it would be
And
at some point.
Being able to essentially traverse back and open the GL viewer actually, because
Yeah.
that's something that obviously the GL viewer is already a sort of a compression report of exactly what we're talking about doing, right? But obviously you can't
Right.
traverse from the
But
GL
the
viewer
way, yeah.
back through into the given report, which
I
which
could
is really what we want
I
to be
could
able to do.
it's not a big problem to add the links here that refer to the RDF viewer. It's still loading, by the way, all these transactions.
Yes.
But it's always gonna be like just bolted on, That's fine. Maybe that's what we want. But or maybe we want to go like a more general way and just rewrite it in some fashion where it works with the RDF data directly. I don't know. It's something that has to be maybe planned a bit.
What do you mean?
But yeah.
What do you mean RDF data directly?
So right now the user interface is driven of a JSON file that we generate.
So this, yes, okay. So what you're exploring just now is obviously exploring directly in the RDF, whereas now what we're looking at is the JSON outputs from the RDF engine essentially.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. So these are JSON
files.
These are the JSON renderings, but what we were looking at in terms of navigation is definitely at the level of the RDF database, essentially.
Yeah, and you can build an interface that uses the RDF underneath, and it just does like a domain specific view.
I guess the benefit of doing it in native RDF is that you'll be able to more effectively traverse the knowledge base than having to jump in and out of different JSON renderings.
Yep. You can follow the relations. Like you should be able to follow the relations like whichever direction you want, and you can also have like different views, like a more condensed view or a more detailed view over the same data, and you can have annotations actually, like that's what I did in the. Let me show you the quote. Wow, what's wrong with my Firefox history? What I tried there was to have like a read-write RDF database in the browser window. So here you could delete some triples, but also like if we would be in the middle of some investigation, why the records are not right, you could like click and create an annotation right here on the report entry, because the RDF very much opens up the possibility to annotate any data.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah, but